This is a very specific piece of content directed to people who are still in the cult that I was in, that I left and I began speaking out against. This really was what woke me up from multi-level marketing. And it wasn't a multi-level marketing company. It was a coaching cult associated with multi-level marketing, and it was called Rank Makers. That's what started this whole journey. I'm going on 4 years now making content, speaking out against Rank Makers and also all multi-level marketing companies. If you were in Rank Makers and you knew me, you know how consistent I am. You know how consistent I am if you followed me through the years speaking out. You might have been really mad at me, really upset. Maybe you've called me a hater and a demon and vibrating at a low frequency. You might not know that I don't make money making content. Thousands of hours of anti-MLM content I've made across social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I've purposefully chosen not to enable the monetization feature on YouTube, although YouTube will put ads on my content. I'm not making any money off of it. And I'm doing it for a reason, because I know that's one of the things that can really get through to people that are still in this thing. You need to ask yourself what drives people, when we're helping people. What would motivate people to do something to not get paid at all? It's not sufficient to just say, oh, they're just a hater. Many of you have left over the years. Some have reached out to me. Some have, gone on to other multi-level marketing scams and have become coaches in their own right. You've continued the grift. And I'm pretty sure that some of you know exactly what you're doing. So you were abused, and now you've chosen to go on to abuse others. I still want to see you get out, and I do believe that you can one day. You're going to need to take accountability for what you've done, but I do believe that you can. You can exit. You can do the right thing. Of course, there's going to be people that just don't. They just choose to keep on hurting others. But I believe that most people are really good. That you got into this whole thing, which is called an industry, but it's not. It's just fraud. You got into this thinking that you could really help people. You really like the products. Maybe you believe they changed your life. They helped you. They cured a condition. And you want to just help people. And from that desire to help people, that's been exploited, and you've been used, and you haven't even calculated how much money that you've spent in a month on coaching and or your own multi-level marketing company. Why is that? Why is it, with all the world-class coaching that you've paid for over the years, nobody's ever told you to just simply track how much money you spend versus how much money you make? They just dismiss it, like saying, well, don't worry about that, because in the future, if you don't look at reality, if you just think and imagine a future where you're going to be a multimillionaire, none of this is going to matter. But that's not how you run a business. It's irresponsible, and you're bringing people into this, vulnerable people. It's another tactic that we're taught that we think makes sense. Well, people are struggling. I have a solution. I'm going to just ask them, would you be open to taking a look at this? It would be a crime if I didn't at least offer it to them. So what's happening is that we're actually targeting people who are vulnerable, who are financially struggling, who are unable to think clearly because maybe they have a medical condition. They've lost hope, and you're selling them hope. That's not a business. This is a cult. I know you've watched my content over the years, and I know that you continue to. Maybe some of you are still, over on TikTok. I've abandoned it. Maybe one day I'll go back on TikTok, but I've let all my content stand. I still have over 200,000 followers over there. And I know that content is still helping people because I get messages from people in other MLMs and it's helping them. It might be, a piece of the puzzle that you put together from taking in various pieces of content from other whistleblowers, other people making anti-MLM content that helps you leave. So I haven't forgotten about you. I want to see you all get out. And then we need to talk about that reality show called Play to Win. You remember it? 2 seasons. It wasn't on television, but it was streamed live on Facebook. And then the videos were uploaded to YouTube, but the videos have now disappeared. They were deleted, but not before I downloaded all of them. And I also reacted to every episode from both seasons. The abuse that went on in those 2 seasons, every episode, that thousands and thousands of people took as excellent coaching. It's really messed up. You know how many people were in rank makers that were at the top of their different pyramid schemes? And they thought this was great coaching, and they've adopted these lessons. And they've dispersed that abuse in company after company after company that they've gone to. And how difficult it is to explain to people outside of this that when you're seeing people being broken down, videoed and mocked and treated with just the most contempt, and that you thought that was excellent coaching and this was going to move the needle in your multi-level marketing business. And people outside of this are like, are you insane? How could you have possibly believed that? And that's the cult aspect. I don't think there's a better contrast of the fragmented reality that you see when you're in a high control group versus, outside of one, are those reality shows. And I know that people that watched it, thousands of us, we thought this was an incredible learning opportunity. We didn't learn anything. We witnessed people being broken down and humiliated and abused, and then that abuse was perpetuated in the months and even years following these episodes. Participants were working for free, recruiting other people into this coaching cult. And it's a lot to make sense of as you exit how you couldn't have seen it. And I just want you to know that this is part of it. You're going to get through this. You need to get out, take a step back from social media, turn off your phone, even for a few hours if you can. But you will get through this. And one of your superpowers is leaning on the lessons that kept us in like a high control group like Rank Makers for years. Growth only happens outside of your comfort zone. We're really good at getting uncomfortable. So get uncomfortable. Lean into that discomfort. Don't be afraid to look it straight in the eye. Walk right into it. When you're in a high control group, we're taught that you need to run away from anything that will challenge what we're told. And instead of looking at it and being able to think critically, we just dismiss it as being evil and wrong and negative, and it's going to hold me down, and it's people want to see me stay small and not show up powerfully and stay in the box. But we still can't articulate exactly what it is. We'll just immediately respond. We're so reactive. So as you start your own journey of exiting this particular cult, lean into that discomfort and start listening to yourself again. I'm going to leave you with this. The truth always comes out, and you are stronger than you think. And good luck to you.